Welcome into NFL Daily. I am Harrison Graham. Do you want more Chicago Bears videos? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Also subscribe to us here on Chat Sports if you do. We're trying to expand our team coverage. We hear you Bears fans in the comments of our other videos. So if you want more Bears videos, type Y for yes and subscribe to us here on youtube.com/chatsportstv. Now, let's get into today's Chicago Bears rumors and news. The Bears are making several changes as they embark on their offseason. Of course, missed the playoffs, 8-8 underachieving season for the Chicago Bears. They have fired 4 coaches, including their offensive coordinator, Mark Helfrich. Now, Helfrich didn't call the plays. Head coach Matt Nagy does, but he had an influence on the underachieving run game this year, which is a big reason why he was let go. The Titans coach, Kevin Gilbride, Hiestand, the OL offensive lineman coach, and then Brock Olivo, the assistant special teams coach, are also out as well. So 4 coaches out. Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace clearly want and expect changes on this offense. Matt Nagy safe for now, but certainly needs a better 2020. This will not work in 2020. 29th out of 32 teams in the NFL in scoring, 29th in total offense, barely over 200 passing yards per game, less than 100 yards passing per game, and terrible on third down, barely converted a third of the time. This offense struggled in a lot of ways, and to me a big reason why is because they did not involve rookie running back David Montgomery enough. I love this kid coming out of Iowa State. Yeah, the yards per carry wasn't there, which is why the offensive line coach has been let go, but I think this guy can be a 1,000-yard rusher and a 500-yard receiver in this offense. Had almost 900 yards, 6 touchdowns this year. To me, they did not use this guy enough. I think he's a big weapon. Got to get Tariq Cohen back on track next year as well, but the running game disappeared on Chicago this year, which is why the offense struggled and is why the Bears are making changes to their offensive staff. Now, Bears fans, I want you to describe the Chicago Bears season in one word. The 2019 season, 8-8 after going 12-4 last year. Describe this season in one word. You might get hit with the YouTube ad break here. If you do, go down to the comments. This will be the pinned comment and reply to this question. Describe the Bears 2019 season in one word. By the time you answer, you scroll back up, the video will be back on. Now, the Bears did announce that they are committed to Mitch Trubisky at least for 2020. GM Ryan Pace says he is the starter for 2020. Matt Nagy doubled down as well. Pace said, quote, "We believe in Mitch," said a bunch of other stuff as well that we will get into in just a second. But there needs to be improvement, and Nagy made that very, very clear. We'll get to his quote in a second, but first, here was Ryan Pace on Mitch. Quote, "The first thing that comes to mind for me is just consistency. You see moments, you see games, but for him, the issue is stringing together better consistency. So you have the peaks, you have the valleys. We just need to flatten that out. Mitch is our starter." So standing by Mitch Trubisky after a pretty poor 2019. You compare the past couple of years for Mitch. 2018, he was starting to take a step forward, 67% completion. Yeah, the yardage wasn't there, but like I said, they ran the ball a lot more effectively last year. 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, passer rating at almost 100 last year. This year, numbers down across the board. Completion percentage, yards, touchdowns. The TD to interception ratio not as good. Rating certainly well down. His rushing was down as well, and we'll get into that later on. But Mitch Trubisky took a step back this year, which was not a good sign. A lot of people asking for a new quarterback in 2020, but the Bears doubling down, committing to Mitch in 2020. Now, what does Matt Nagy need to see from his young quarterback next year? Very simple. We talked about decision-making, but I want him to be a master at understanding coverages. And that's a lot of when I watch Trubisky, what I see, right? It's questionable decision-making, loose with the football. He seems like a guy, he locks in on his first read, maybe gets to his second read, and then he either takes off or throws the ball away. He has to get better at progressing his reads. Matt Nagy knows it. 2020 is going to be a big season for Mitchell Trubisky. Should Mitch Trubisky be the starter next season? Should he be the Bears starting quarterback? I think it's a legitimate question. Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Honestly, I think I'll see a lot more 2s than 1s. I know a lot of Bears fans are tired of Mitch. Every single time the Bears are on TV, they show that graphic of how the Bears took Mitch over Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. But They're standing by him. What do you Bears think? Should Trubisky be the starter next season? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Curious to know what you guys think in the comments section. Now, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. Go to chatsports.com/bet to sign up today. Use that promo code NFL120. They're going to hook you up with a 120% deposit bonus. You put down $50, they're going to give you $50 for free. $100, $120 for free. I put down $100 before the season. Have plenty of money left over because it turned into $220 total. Chatsports.com/bet. BetDSI is the #1 internet sportsbook out there. Go get signed up today. More news on Mitch Trubisky. They are considering surgery on that left shoulder. I'm sure you guys noticed he was wearing that, I guess you can call it a brace on that left shoulder. Well, it turns out he was playing with a partially torn labrum for most of the season. So the Bears, Trubisky, they're considering off-season surgery here. Talk about a torn labrum, you're probably looking at 3 or 4 months of recovery. I know DeMarcus Lawrence in Dallas had a similar surgery. Took him about 4 months to get back. So we'll see. They'll probably give it a month or so to see if it heals without playing, but I would suspect they make that decision pretty soon. I'm wondering if it impacted Trubisky's willingness to run the football, because you look at what he did this year, less than 200 yards and a couple of touchdowns, which isn't bad for the average quarterback, but you look at what he did last year, the note down below, over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he ran a lot more. The yards per carry was higher. Mitch Trubisky, we know he's never going to be a Patrick Mahomes type of pocket passer where he can sling it all over the place. His best ability is utilizing his mobility and his legs, get out on the edge to either throw the football or be willing to run downfield. Didn't do it a lot this year. I'm wondering if that left shoulder was a bigger problem than was reported throughout the season. We'll see if he decides to have surgery. Now, if you're wanting a different quarterback next year, this one's an interesting idea. I've seen some ideas thrown out there from a couple of Bears beat writers that the Bears should look into Alex Smith. Now, we all know he is recovering from that serious leg injury from 2018. It's about 13, 14 months removed from surgery, but he said recently, just in the last couple of days, he still wants to return to playing football. Here was the quote from Alex Smith. "I still have dreams of getting back to where I was and getting back out there. This has obviously been a crazy ride with a lot of unforeseen turns, but without a doubt, that's still my goal." That's Alex Smith on wanting to play, wanting to return to the football field. Of course, he's under contract with the Redskins, but look at what he did under Matt Nagy. If you don't remember, Nagy was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach before that under Andy Reid. He took over as the OC in 2016. From 2013 to 2015, he was the quarterbacks coach. Alex Smith was there all of those years. Look at the numbers he put up. 65%, over 17,000 yards, and that touchdown to interception ratio, 102 to 33, excellent. And the best year of Smith's career was in 2017. Matt Nagy's last year in Kansas City, which largely got Nagy the Chicago job to begin with. Of course, Andy Reid has a big involvement with what the Chiefs offense is doing. He calls the plays, but Matt Nagy's relationship with Alex Smith already in place. It makes some sense. Now, if you're wondering, oh, isn't Alex Smith under contract and isn't he owed a lot of money? He is, but 2 of those years are team options. Next year, just $21.4 million. Sure, that's a lot, but it's not that much compared to quarterbacks, what they're getting these days. Derek Carr makes $25 million, for example, and people are wanting him out of Oakland. 2021, 2022 cost goes up, but those are team options. So you could trade for Smith and get for not that much. Maybe give up a 6th-round pick or something like that. He's not the future in Washington. And by the way, if it doesn't work out in 2020, you can opt out for less than $11 million against in dead cap. So, I mean, that's not a huge deficit in terms of, trying to bring in a quarterback who could be an upgrade for Trubisky. I don't know if Alex Smith is going to get back to the level of what he was before. I don't know if he's ever going to play football again. I know he wants to. I know Trubisky is not very good. So should the Bears trade for Alex Smith? Again, you're not going to have to give up much to get him. And by the way, if you're worried about the salary, Trubisky's still on his rookie deal. So it's not like they can't make the money work for the $21 million. Type T for trade, type P for pass. If it's for basically nothing, why not? Why not take a shot? If nothing else, bring in a guy into camp who can help Mitch out. I think he could certainly offer that as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Reminder for you guys, BetDSI, the #1 sports book out there. You can bet on the NFL playoffs, the NBA, college football bowl season. Few bowl games left. You got the national championship coming up in a couple of weeks. I bet Alabama big. Made some money on that one. Use our promo code NFL120, chatsports.com/bet. That 120% deposit bonus. It's the best deal out there. Get signed up today with BetDSI. Last note here, Eddie Pinheiro sticking around. In the middle of the season, Bears fans were freaking out because they thought Pinheiro was another Cody Parkey. Finished the year strong, and they doubled down this week. Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, they're sticking with Pinheiro. He will be the kicker in 2020. Made his final 11 kicks of the 2019 season. Look, I mean, there's a lot of teams that had kicker issues this year. Overall, Pinheiro, he wasn't as bad as you probably think. 23 of 28. He was about 82%. Missed a couple of extra points, but remember, it's the 33-yarder now. 2 for 2 from 50-plus, and had one game-winning kick against Denver earlier in the season. I would say Eddie Pinheiro is about league average, slightly above average, and, I mean, there's just not as many elite kickers out there these days. That's just the reality of it. He's certainly better than Cody Parkey. I know you Bears fans have not moved on from that missed kick against the Eagles in the playoffs a year ago. So Pinheiro sticking in Chicago. He will be the kicker in 2020. Speaking of the 2020 season, what will the Bears' record be? 12-4 last year, 8-8 this year. Certainly looking to get back on track in 2020. Without diving into the schedule too much, I'll go 9-7. Slight upgrade. I think they'll be 9-7, be in the mix for the wild card hunt. We'll dive deeper into the Bears, especially if you guys subscribe and want more Bears videos. We will be bringing those to you guys here on youtube.com/chatsportstv. But predict the Bears record in 2020, and we'll see you next time.